Welcome to Motorsport at the Movies. I'm Jake Sanson, and this week, let's talk about a movie that's become so much more than just a motion picture. The greatest race in the world became the favourite movie of all time for thousands of petrolheads in 1971 and gave the King of Cool his ultimate movie role. Steve McQueen was already the biggest name in Hollywood thanks to his performances in The Great Escape, Bullitt and The Thomas Crown Affair, famed the world over for his incredible ability, his macho good looks and his incredible coolness. I mean, just look at him, without even trying. It's just effortless. Without giving away too much of the recent documentary entitled Steve McQueen, the Man in Le Mans, Steve was just as excited by motorsport as many of his acting colleagues, including James Dean, Paul Newman and James Garner, who actually beat McQueen to the lead role in Grand Prix, but that's another story. McQueen had even competed in a Mini in the early days of the British Touring Car Championship at Brands Hatch, where he finished third. Incredible! He was also second at the Sebring 12 Hours in 1970 and even raced a motorcycle in the Baja 1000. McQueen had joined forces with John Sturges in 1966 to make a movie called Day of the Champion, and their work at the Nürburgring even forced Grand Prix director John Frankenheimer to turn over 27 reels of footage at the Nordschleife that was never used in Grand Prix. Sadly, Day of the Champion collapsed, and a trip to Le Mans in 1969 convinced the King of Cool, I just love saying it, to make a movie around Le Mans instead. The whole film takes place on location at the 1970 race. The project was so realistic that McQueen was actually entered to compete in the race to enhance the realism, alongside the reigning Formula One world champion of that time, Jackie Stewart. But sadly, the filmmakers threatened to back out of funding it if he raced. Spoil sports? So instead, Steve took up the role of American racer Michael Delaney. He even had a cool-sounding character name. It's just unfair. His supporting cast were pretty impressive too, with Siegfried Rauch as his German rival Erich Stahler, Elga Anderson as love interest Lisa, and Ronald Leigh-Hunt as Porsche team manager David Townsend, with star turns from Fred Haltener and Louise Edlind as Johann and Anna Ritter, and the talents of Luc Miranda, Christopher Waite, and Angelo Infanti as Delaney's racing opponents. Le Mans has been celebrated by the fans of motorsport for decades due to its realism of action sequences and staying true to the portrayal of the event itself. The first actual scene of dialogue from McQueen doesn't appear until 36 minutes into the plot. You'd be hung, drawn and quartered for that by the movie makers nowadays. Incredibly close racing duels and spectacularly placed cameras make this a feast for the eyes and a banquet for the ears, with stylish music surrounding a backdrop of Ferrari and Porsche overtures. Even though there is very little dialogue at all in the movie, it created one of the greatest lines in car cinematic history. Racing is life. Anything that happens before or after is just waiting. It's become the mantra of racers, car lovers, and those addicted to the art of racing the world over. Despite its vast popularity by racing fanatics, the film was a complete flop in the United States and very nearly destroyed Steve McQueen's reputation, for various reasons. No spoilers, come on, watch the documentary. But the legacy of this motion picture masterpiece has lived on for generations, and will probably do so for many a decade to come. It would be criminal to give this movie anything other than the full 5 stars. It's the complete essence of motorsport. No stupid plot, no rubbish special effects, and the greatest motor race in the world depicted correctly, with passion and love. Plus, the movie has spawned 2 lasting cult elements still in active use today. That epic quote and that epic photograph. Well, we had to show it at least once. Stop being so cheeky, Steve. Well, that's my opinion, folks, but what did you think? Was it top-notch or a flop watch? Was I too harsh or too fair? Let me know your opinion with the comments box below. And of course, give me your suggestions as to which movies you'd like to see reviewed in the future. It could be one of these. I'm Jake Sanson for RaceWorldTV. See you next time.